Principais Vídeos missionários. Sou Viviane Oliveira. Eu tô aqui hoje para fazer um vídeo especial. Esse vídeo ele vai ser em inglês, porque eu estou aqui com a missionária, com a Hannah, que ela não é do Brasil, ela é da Inglaterra, e ela vai contar um pouquinho da experiência dela para vocês. Então a gente vai fazer um bem bolado de português e inglês aqui para você saber um pouquinho mais da experiência dela como missionária. Tá joia? Então vamos lá. Hi Hannah, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm great, thank you.
Okay, so we'd like you to tell a little bit about your life. Actually, first of all, introduce yourself for our viewers.
My name's Hannah. I'm English. I have been living in Scotland also. I'm 26. I'm a doctor. And I'm currently doing my discipleship training school at YWAM in Australia.
Tell us, how did you become a Christian?
I was lucky enough to be raised in a Christian family. My mother and father were both missionaries. When they met, they were with YWAM. My dad then became a pastor, and I was raised up in the church. I always believed in Jesus and gave my life to him when I was 9 years old. It's not always been easy. There's been lots of ups and downs and struggles, but God has always been faithful and he always will be. I wouldn't walk life without Jesus.
So tell us, how did you receive the call to become a missionary?
So when I was 7 years old, when I was 6, me and my sister started to join in the YWAM children's ministry, and we grew up for 6-7 years going on mission trips, spreading the word, spreading God's love, China, Bosnia, Hong Kong, India. And then when I was 7 years old, I was at a children's Christian camp. And it was the first time I heard from Jesus. I still have journaled the moment from when I was 7. What Jesus told to me was that I was going to work for the poor and needy in the developing world. He didn't say exactly how, but as I grew up in missions, doing missions, I really developed a heart for doing that. When I was 13, I became very, very unwell in hospital. I spent about 2 months in hospital. Really developed an interest for medicine and healthcare. And it was at that age I decided to become a doctor. And as I have studied and worked, God has really been calling me into the medical missions field, and that's really, really where my passion and my desire in my heart is for long-term work. Exactly how it looks, I'm not sure, but I also know from campaigns and volunteering in human trafficking organizations, I have a deep sense of hurt for women and girls who have been victims of sex trafficking. I've been over to the Philippines on missions on 3 occasions, and they have a big, big problem there with orphans and sex trafficking, and really like to see myself there long term, helping these children. I'm not sure how medicine comes into that and what it looks like, but I do know that God gives us desires to serve him in different ways, and we don't necessarily have to have a clear direction for exactly what that looks like. But if you pursue God and you pursue your dreams and desires, if you give it to God, he will make good of wwhatever you submit yourself to for him.
Talk about an experience or something you had with God, like during your, all those things you've been doing.
I really felt like God was directing me towards medicine, to be a doctor, when I was 12. And my mum was a single mum. We didn't have money for me to go to university. But despite that, I still very strongly felt Jesus was putting this on my heart. I moved from England to Scotland. Scotland had a rule where they paid for university if you had lived for 2 years and so many days. There was a number of days. So praying that I felt this is what God wanted me to do, I faithfully applied for university without the money to go. And the day that I applied was the exact number of days needed to live in the country for free university. I didn't know this at the time until I got accepted, and then I really knew it was from God, and He opened the doors and made it happen. So for everybody out there who feels like they have a calling from God to do something, and you feel there's barriers in the way of doing that, pray into it, and if you have a peace, pursue it with everything you have, already thanking God for His provision. Even though you might not see it, He will make a way.